Namaste everyone, I'm Dr. Alka and this series is about digital forensics. So till now we have discussed about forensics, digital forensic process, and now we are discussing uses of digital forensics. In our previous video, we have discussed about attribution, that is to prove who is the criminal and what crime he has done. And in this video, we'll be discussing about another use of digital forensics, that is assessment of alibi. So alibi means the claim of a criminal that he or she was somewhere else and not at the place where crime took place. Actually what happens, in order to prove himself as innocent, the criminal may try to prove that he or she was not present at the crime scene. Rather, he or she was present somewhere else during that period. And to prove his claim, the suspect may produce a receipt or a record of attendance showing that he was attending something else while crime happened. He may also show travel tickets or hotel bills of another city or place to claim that he was at some other city or place. He can even present some eyewitness who claims that during that period the suspect was with him or her, or he or she have seen the suspect at some other place during that period while crime happened. So this was at the end of the criminal. Now, on the contrary, by the assessment of alibi and statements, the investigators tries to prove where the person actually was. But in this digital era, there are so many challenges the investigators may face while proving about the actual location of the suspect. Actually, what happens to mislead the investigation and to support their alibi, the suspect may easily tamper their computer's clock to change the creation time of a document. And the same was happened in one case when the suspect was involved in a crime, but to prove that he was not present at the crime scene, he tampered his computer's clock and set it to the time when crime took place and wrote a document at that time only to show that at that period he was at his home and was preparing that particular document. There are other challenges like suspect may plan a crime and may schedule an automated email sending to someone at that time he plotted the crime, showing that if he was writing a mail from his computer to someone at that particular time, then how can he be present at the crime scene? And you also know these days how easy has become to change or hide your IP address. In addition to that, the location information provided by mobile phone is also not exact. So these are few challenges which may appear while dealing with alibi assessment. Now the question arises, as a investigator, how to tackle these challenges. So to start with, tampering with digital devices must be examined. Assessment of alibi and statements cannot be done by examining one piece of digital evidence. So the investigator must focus on the associated cyber trial in order to examine the alibi and to present the proof of actual location of suspect at the time of crime. In order to understand it more clearly, I am taking a real case study just to make it simple and more interesting. I am not discussing the associated details of this study. So what happens? Two girls were found missing from their home and then their dead bodies were found. So as per the call details of one of the girls, investigator found that the last call was sent to a cell tower which was very near to their friend's house. But when their friend was contacted, he denied meeting them at that day at his home. He said he was not at his home that day, rather he was with another friend of him whole day. His friend also had given a statement that he was with him. But when the call records of his friend was analyzed, it was found that he was not in the city that day. That is how the alibi of the suspect and statement of his friend was correlated and was assessed to prove that the suspect was at his home only. Other details were also against the suspect to prove him guilty. So before ending the video, I must let you know that the case studies I am taking in my videos, most of the case studies I have taken from the book, that is Handbook on Digital Forensics and Investigation. So you can also refer the book for more cases and to enhance your knowledge on digital forensics. So this is all for today. We'll be meeting soon in our next video. Thank you for being with me.